come?
Yeah, please come, ISHITA.
Good morning.
Good morning, ISHITA. Please sit down.
Thank you.
So, ISHITA, we'll begin with your brief introduction.
Okay, sir. My name is ISHITA. I belong to Sonipat, Haryana. I have done my schooling from Gohana itself, and thereafter I pursued BTech in Computer Science from Delhi Technological University. And after graduation, I joined Amazon as Software Development Engineer, and I resigned in November 2021, after which I have been preparing for civil services.
ISHITA, Amazon has had amazing success. Not
Yes,
just
sir.
in India, all over the world.
Yes, sir.
While you were in this company, what management tools and techniques you found amazing, which may have been the reason for its success?
So I think two main things. One was the very inspiring leadership principles. So from the start, the company's CEO, Jeff Bezos, had given some leadership principles which keep on increasing as the company moves forward. And these are the leadership principles that guide not just the top leadership, but also the employees on daily basis. So, and these are very catchy as well. For example, dive deep, work harder, and
Okay, other
insist
than
on-
this?
Yes, sir. Other than this, the very flat structure at team level, we call it 2 pizza teams. So a team which can be fed by 2 pizzas, usually 7 to 8 members are only there. And the ownership principle then comes into picture. So the team is able to own the
How do you
project.
see the innovation aspect of the company?
Yes, sir. It is driven by innovating on the behalf of customers. So it is guided by a customer obsession, and that's why the company keeps on taking initiatives on its own without requiring.
So if you are district magistrate in any of the Haryana districts, let's take the leadership part, right? There is some mishap, in law and order, controlling farmers. One farmer, dies because of laxity of administration. You are not on the spot. Your SP and your additional district magistrate were there, and something wrong happened. You are the DM of that district. Now the matter comes to the state government and to the judiciary also. Now in that case, it's a matter of ownership of the responsibility. What would be your stand?
So as the SP commanding the area, if I am the one, I think I would be taking the responsibility that everything was happening. But obviously, I think in this case, what we need to see is the bigger picture, that the family whose kin has deceased or died at the spot.
No, the
on the
issue
spot.
is, question is only with regard to ownership. When you are asked, ISHITA, are you responsible for this entire thing? Do you own responsibility? What would
So
be your
since
answer?
I am commanding the area, obviously it should be my responsibility.
Okay. It should be, or you will own it?
Yes, sir, I will own it.
You are telling the ideal situation, not your own.
No, sir, this would be my own responsibility, since I am the one responsible
You
for
are
the situation.
telling slightly fearfully.
No, sir, I am completely confident.
Tell me, you're from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
How would more and more women like you getting into civil services from Haryana will affect or improve or influence the social empowerment of women in your state?
Yes, sir, of course it will. And in fact, I myself have been inspired from such women. And in fact, my mother herself.
Let's talk about general society, like not
Yes,
your
sir.
own case.
So definitely, and I think these are the things which, along with Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, these are self-reinforcing things which motivate other girls and their parents and the whole society in such terms, that when women comes in such positions of power, then it sends a message that women are also equal, if not less, to men.
You have mentioned somewhere that you had done some work on Swami Vivekananda. You had written some
An
essay.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Now, India is a young country,
Yes, sir.
and we have majority of youth today. Swami Vivekananda, what messages of Swami Vivekananda can influence the youth today?
So first and foremost, his message in the self-belief and confidence for the youth, that the mind is everything, what you think you become. So he says that, and this is obviously would be the motivating factor for the youth. Then other one would be the focus on hard work and doing something for the society, as he says that stop not until the goal is reached. So I think these are the things and the values that he inspired: compassion for the society.
Ishita, what is digital public infrastructure in India?
So DPIs are the platform which have been developed by the government, and these can then be built upon even by the private sector.
What are the main DPI platforms which?
So there are three divisions in DPIs. So three layers, I would say. One is the identity layer, that is the Aadhaar. Second is the payment gateway, payment infrastructure, that is UPI in India. And thirdly is the data exchange layer, for example, DigiLocker.
How is UPI proving to be a game changer, not just for India but for the world?
Yes, sir, definitely. In fact, India is working with more than 30 countries today to deliver UPI there. And in fact, just the last visit, in fact, we are working with UAE also. And this is possible because the government has open sourced the complete network, and that's how it can be built for the requirement of other countries.
My last question.
Yes, sir.
Doubling of farmers' income. What has been done so far? If you can just list out the initiatives and what has been the result till 2022.
So the steps for doubling the farmers' income, as suggested by the Ashok Dalwai committee, have been taken in various aspects, such as the crop insurance scheme, PM Kisan Yojana for providing income support to the farmers, and other related to the e-governance things, for example, Mausam app and other things, so that the farmers.
Okay. Thank you, Ishita.
Thank you, sir.
Sita,
Yes, sir.
for last 2-3 days, people are talking a lot about this report, about this household
consumption.
per capita consumption. What are
Yes.
some important things it has highlighted?
Yes, sir. So the first is related to the share of food items in the consumption of households, and it has declined for both the rural areas as well as the urban areas. Second is the growth that we are seeing in the rural economy. Now the gap between the consumption in rural areas and urban areas is narrowing, which is a good thing. And third, sir, is the shift from cereals and pulses to milk and meat and poultry based products, and this is, I think, the nutrition related aspect. Yes.
But Sita, the problem is that the lowest band in the rural or the urban areas and the highest band in the rural and urban areas, that inequality is still there. It is very large.
Yes,
So, can you suggest some measures, quick measures or some rapid things where this inequality can be bridged quickly? Because you know that 5% the top and 5% of the bottom in the rural areas as well as in the urban areas, the difference in the expenditure is quite huge.
Yes, so in fact, in the rural areas, it is more than 7 times. The
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
5% the above,
Yeah.
and in urban areas.
So
it is
my
10.
point is this:
Yes,
कि
sir.
what can be done? I mean, what other type of interventions can be there so that we can bridge that gap as quickly as possible?
So one, I think, would be the income support related measures, because as we see in the multidimensional poverty, it has improved over time. So the lower half, the lower portion has the access to services, but now I think we should focus more on the income related aspect also. So DBT in this sense can be that quick solution, but I think for the longer term we should be working upon it, and there would be 2 things that can help us in this regard. One would be the e-governance, And second would be the focus on education and skill development, so that the job related aspect can be addressed.
Okay. Ishita, I think 1 or 2 days back, the Supreme Court also has talked about Nari Shakti or women empowerment with regard to an issue of Indian Coast Guard.
Sorry, sir, I'm
Coast Guard
not
commissioning of women officers. Supreme Court has very, what I should say, angrily they have said something.
So thank you for pointing it out, but I think I missed upon that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
This Maldives issue is also quite live nowadays. But what is the latest in the Maldives issue? Do you know something that some exercises are being conducted?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir, India, Sri Lanka, Maldives held a
joint exercise.
Yes, sir.
So, but the Maldives, the president of the Maldives was quite anti-Indian type of person, initially. So, why this shift in the policy?
Sir, I don't see that as a major shift. I think even though the president of Maldives has expressed some pro-China sentiments and some actions against India also, but I think in the longer run, both India and Maldives understand that it is only via cooperation that we can benefit. It would be the win-win situation for both of the countries.
Oh.
And for maritime security, Maldives, I think, also understands that it is not China that can come to secure or help Maldives.
Good. My last question is about electoral bonds.
Yes,
that
sir.
Supreme Court has
Struck down.
struck down the things. Now, it is done and dusted. So, what are the alternatives? Now, the elections are there. Within 2 or 3 months, elections will be there.
Yes, sir.
So, what type of election funding will be there now? Because now we'll go to the old system of 20,000 rupees donation. That may create more problem.
Yes, sir. As of now, we only have that system. But I see a hope in terms of electoral trust that Supreme Court also highlighted that can be leveraged. And that trust can take care of the transparency aspect and as well as the probable hiding of who is funding, which corporate is actually funding which party. So it can take care of that. Otherwise, for less than 20,000 cash, that provision I think would remain.
That would remain.
Yes, sir. As of now, only when the new government comes into power, then only some legislation.
But you support that decision of the Supreme Court is striking down this electoral bond system?
So, Supreme Court mentioned that though it is curbing the black money, but the right to information of the voters has primacy over these rights. So, definitely I support that.
Okay.
Yes, sir, for more transparency in the system.
Thank you, Ishita.
So, ISHITA, from 2 PISA team principle,
Yes, sir.
if you enter into civil services, you will have to create a whole PISA factory.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, the size of the organization will be big.
Definitely.
How will you pick up your team? Will you still maintain a 2 PISA team concept? Or will you take the entire group with you? How will your team selection be for, confidence and running of the show?
So, I think it would depend upon what position I am in and what task has been assigned. And obviously, while in civil services, one has to take everyone along. And that is, I think, the principle I would be guided by. Obviously, my experience in corporate with 2 PISA team will help when I am, say, assigned some task to be done in time-bound manner, which is short in domain particularly. Thereafter, I would, I think, benefit from that.
Swami Vivekanand has been a big figure as far as youth is concerned. Can you very briefly communicate his message for the youth, which he often said?
Yes, sir. Like I mentioned that he has he has inspired the youth in terms of working not just for their own confidence building and striving for spirituality in life, but also taking the societal issues also in account and working for the society as well. And then only I think the youth power can be utilized for India's growth also.
ISHITA research paper that you did,
Yes, sir.
in the era of artificial intelligence and chat coming out with
Yes.
Replacing the manpower, do you think sanctity of research will be left in coming times? Can AI take over the research activity? You feed it, it will explore the data and come out. So in the era of chat GPT and AI,
Yes, sir.
how do we know that research is genuine?
So there are three types of AI systems, if I can put it that way. One is the narrow AI, which is the chat GPT, and it can threaten the jobs which can be automated in the shorter run. And second would be the general AI. There is only work in progress and we are not on the horizon yet. And lastly would be the if we can call super AI, which can develop on its own. So research is more of a creative activity which requires awareness, creativity and all these aspects which humans right now have. So the super AI would only be able to do that. So at this point, I feel that AI can be utilized as an assistance to do research, but it cannot do on its own.
ISHITA, how will computers look like after 15 years? You are a computer engineer. So will we be carrying this big thing on our desk, or will we be? Can we see somewhere on the palm and hand and we use it as computer?
Sir, I think 15 years back was the smartphone era when it just came into being, and I think 15 years down the line it would be very hard to predict. Right now, I think in December only this AI pin has been released, which is a very smartwatch kind of device which can be worn over the clothes also. So I think the jury is out on that.
WhatsApp model of profitability.
Yes, sir.
What it is? It doesn't charge you anything, but it still makes profit.
WhatsApp, sir.
Yes. So how is it making profit?
So it is often said that if you are not paying for something, then you yourself are the business model of that company, and that holds true for WhatsApp also, because the kind of data they have, and now since the Meta also owns it, and definitely that is only their business model, integrating the whole social media ecosystem. Now they've launched Threads also. So Threads coupled with Instagram, Facebook and WhatsApp, that is in total their business model, to keep people into this ecosystem and so that they keep coming up for new and new features.
Last question. Hedging. What is hedging? How does India hedge itself? Number one, on economy. Number two, on defense.
So hedging in general sense would mean saving oneself from some imminent danger or threat. So it is usually used in stock market where one invests in some other stock so that one can hedge against the probable decline in one's own stocks or something. So on economy front, to hedge against, I would say, the global factors, the global turmoil, India should invest more in building the consumption capabilities of the country, because India's economy is driven by the domestic demand. So that's how we can hedge against the global turmoil or politics. And second, in defense, obviously, sir, the short term as well as the long term solution would be to help self-reliance in defense capabilities, to shield against the supply chain disruptions due to war or other factors.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Ishita, first of all, I would like to know why do you wish to come into civil services?
So there are a lot of reasons. Firstly, the scope and diversity that civil services provide, I think that is unparalleled. Secondly, sir, it kind of institutionalizes the connect with the society, and I personally feel that I would derive a great personal satisfaction from that. And thirdly, finally, it joins the dots from my childhood, wherein my mother once prepared for civil services, and that is where I got that inspiration.
Okay. So, you are from Sonipat.
Yes, sir.
So, what is connection of Sonipat with Mahabharata?
So it was known as Swarnaprast, and it was one of the 5 villages that the Pandavas demanded from Duryodhana.
Now, let's say you are DM of Sonipat. So, how would you tackle the issue of air pollution, especially industrial pollution in Sonipat?
So air pollution in Sonipat would have sources in 2 things. One is a stubble burning related aspect, and second is the industrial pollution. Industrial pollution is primarily due to there is Rai industrial hub in Sonipat. Footwear and food processing related industries are there, and that is where I think already we are doing good work in context of stubble burning. We have reduced it very much, almost 60% in last 2 years, and Haryana has only less than 2,000 such incidents. And second, on the industrial front, I think smoke related, I'm forgetting the name of the techniques that can be used, but those are precipitators and other things which can be utilized in both of such industries.
Okay. Is Sonipat part of NCR region?
Yes, sir.
So, why it has not developed as compared to Gurgaon and Noida?
So there are 2 primary reasons. One is the relative area under cultivation in Sonipat versus Gurgaon or Noida, because Gurgaon has a lot of unproductive land which could be utilized by the real estate sector. That's how it developed. And second is the connectivity via metro network and the nearness to the Delhi airport. These are the factors.
Ishita, tell me how Niti Aayog is better than Planning Commission?
So 2 primary factors. One is the decentralized approach of Niti Aayog. It works with the states and it focuses on cooperative federalism. And second, it works as the research or think tank for the government, and it is not interested with devolution of funds to the states per se. So that's how states can also feel empowered from the same.
Okay. Ishita, why so many Bharat Ratnas are given this year?
So I can see only one factor, which is the disruption brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think now it is the time that it's finally behind us and we can move forward.
And you practice mindfulness meditation.
Yes,
There are so many types of meditation. We have mantra meditation, transcendental meditation.
Yes, sir.
So, is it to do with commercialization of meditation?
So mindfulness meditation is not related per se to commercialization, but transcendental meditation and mantra meditation are definitely the ones in which we require a guru to give us the mantra and guide us in the whole process. I would not call it commercialization because in ancient times also gurus were there and the dakshina was given. The model has changed now, and even the group Beetle came to India for getting the transcendental meditation. But yes, now the proliferation of many gurus on YouTube that charge for some of the courses and might not provide that quality, that can be commercialized.
You have mentioned reflexive diary writing.
Yes.
So, what is reflexive in diary writing?
So reflexive is how I reflect upon my own actions. So reflexive word relates to the actions which are directed to your own self.
Basically, it is reflective.
Yes, sir. I was inspired to use these words from sociology, so that's how I got.
So my last question, as a student of sociology, what 3 changes would you like to see in our society, apart from women-related issues?
So firstly, I think the balance between materialism and spiritualism, so that we can
Second.
find that better meaning. So second, I would really like to mention the women-related.
No. Any other?
Yes, sir. Sir, the greater focus on education, especially of younger children with value-based education.
What
So
about?
thirdly,
Yes.
yes, sir, to complement our current skilling infrastructure with the needs of modern times and inculcation of technological spirit from the early on.
What about child labor, child marriages, unemployment, other social issues?
Yes, sir, definitely these are the work in progress and further steps are definitely required.
Okay. So thank you, Ishita. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Ishita, anything in your DAF which we may not have covered? If yes, let me know. I can ask one last question.
I think it's fine, sir.
It's covered.
Thank you.
All right. So, Ishita, we close our interview now. We will call you again after 2-3 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Meanwhile, you can wait in the waiting.
Thank you so much.
So, Ishita, how did you do today?
Sir, I think few questions I think I was not able to answer effectively, and the one question related to sociology that sir asked, I think I missed out on these very important things. Otherwise, I think I was able to articulate.
No, Ishita, you were from the perception of the panel. You have done very well.
Thank
You
you,
are
sir.
an excellent candidate and doing very well. And I'm sure on 14th March, you will do extremely well.
Thank you so much.
So, in fact, you were almost flawless. Good personality, pleasing
you, sir.
personality, good content, nice communication, very good conversation. You know, it was an enjoyable conversation, which is how a good interview should be judged and is judged by UPSC. So, content also, you were very concise, very to the point. You picked up the best points and good knowledge, variety of knowledge. Few questions here and there, one is not an encyclopedia, but your overall personality came out very well.
Thank you, sir.
And you reminded me of Ishita Kishore.
Thank you, sir.
So we found her also flawless, although she did not get much marks in the interview, but we gave perfect 70. And that is what we have given you also today.
Thank you so much, sir.
So let's hear other members.
You are an excellent candidate. In fact, you are ready for the interview. And
Sir, I think I'm still in the process of revising.
you
stuff.
revise, keep yourself updated with the things, etc.
Yes, sir.
Say, I think in one the Supreme Court issue.
Yes, sir. I think I missed out on that.
The Supreme Court has asked government to give the permanent commission, officers commission to women. Some Tyagi women is there, and Supreme Court has talked this issue twice.
Okay, sir.
And
I'll look into it.
yeah, it's very important. They say that when you give the officer rank to commission rank to Navy, Air Force and Army, so why not in Indian Coast Guard? But they were flagging some technical issues, the department.
Okay.
But Supreme Court has, in fact, Supreme Court says that you are talking a lot about Nari Shakti. So where is your Nari Shakti here in Indian Coast Guard? So
Yes.
do it immediately and report. So that is an important issue of Nari Shakti. We are talking about Nari Shakti and all that. So, but that is a very minor thing. Overall, you are a very good candidate. You have tackled questions very, very. In fact, this consumption, expenditure, and other things. So you've done very well. Even Maldives also, you come up very well.
Thank you, sir.
So keep it up. You will do very well in the final interview.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Ishita, it was very good discussion.
Thank
I
you, sir.
really enjoyed my conversation with you. All the points from research to Vivekanand to, so you were able to not only come out with good content, but very briefly also. So you were not wasting any words anywhere.
Thank you, sir.
Research
around-
bias is the only thing that you need to also include is the bias in AI. So
Yes, sir.
these days the talk of bias in AI is also causing a lot of concern. And if people use AI and there is a biased outcome, so that will also hamper.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you can include biased AI, you can include change in the research acknowledgements. People must indicate they have used AI for what purpose. One of the authors recently, she mentioned that 5% of her contents in the book have been taken from ChatGPT.
Okay.
So that is
Thank you,
the
sir.
kind of
I'll-
acknowledgement. So we have to change with the changing time.
Yes, sir.
And rest all you were excellent. Computers after 15 years. There is a scenario you didn't mention that. On
Sir, I related it with AI pin that was launched. It is a very handheld device which can be worn over the clothes
so
also.
computer
That's why.
after 15 years, people are talking of computer that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wish
Sir,
you all
around
the best.
that, I have one question related to that two pizza team. Was the answer
Which question?
related to two pizza team versus taking
Oh,
everyone together?
that is the crux of the whole thing. Picking up the right team.
Yes.
In any work environment, you have to have, number one, you will be the leader. Number two, you have to depend on your own judgment. Number three, your team has to be selected with great care.
Yes, sir.
Now, two pizza team may not work. You may not have that luxury of having 8 to 10 people or 15 people.
Yes,
So,
sir.
team picking, सीखना किसी भी टेस्ट मैच में people are tried but team leader guides them and the team is supposed to be one. ऐसा नहीं हो कि एक कुछ बोले एक कुछ बोले. So
Yes,
work becomes difficult. And then right kind of information. I think just read more on that.
Sure, sir.
Right?
Thank you.
सबको तो आप सब तो हमारा टीम है ही है. They are part of you are working for them. You are public servant. But in administration also you need some trustworthy team.
Okay. Sir.
Okay. So just read on team building exercise. There are
Okay,
very interesting books on that. How to build up a team.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
तो इशिता सेम ओपिनियन. ऑलरेडी अभी आपको बता दिया कि आपका नाम भी इशिता है और आप रैंक 1 लास्ट ईयर के टॉपर की याद दिला रहे हैं. तो आपने सब अच्छे से कवर किया है. हाउएवर दो आपको सजेशंस है.
Yes, sir.
सोशियोलॉजी की जब हम बात करते हैं तो दिमाग में वुमेन इश्यूज ही आते हैं, है ना.
Yes, sir.
तो थोड़ा सा और उसमें आप देख लीजिएगा जो कि बाद में आपको याद आ रहा था, धीरे धीरे याद आ रहा था. उसमें टाइम लग रहा था बहुत आपको.
Yes, sir. Actually.
सो यू वर शॉर्ट ऑफ एक्चुअली आइडियाज उस समय. ठीक है. दूसरा, वाई सिविल सर्विसेज में आपने 3 पॉइंट्स बोले. पहले 2 पॉइंट आपके बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे थे, एक्सेप्शनल, बहुत अच्छे थे, एक्सीलेंट. लेकिन तीसरे पॉइंट में आपने अपनी मदर का एग्जाम्पल लेके आया और आपने क्या बोला कि उन्होंने भी अपने टाइम पे तैयारी की थी.
Yes, sir.
तो ये आपको बिल्कुल भी मेंशन नहीं करना है. ठीक है. उनका
But
नहीं हुआ इसलिए
that's
आपका, तो किसने कहा कि सब कुछ सच सामने लाना है? अगर उन्होंने एमबीबीएस की तैयारी की होती तो फिर आप
So she cleared, but she could not continue in the
कोई
test.
बात नहीं ना. अभी आपको उनकी शैडो से बाहर निकलना है.
Okay, sir.
इट इज इम्प्लिसिट कि एवरीवन इज इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय देयर पेरेंट्स. तो उसको क्यों सामने लाना है?
Okay,
है ना.
sir.
और वो फिर डॉक्टर होते, कुछ और होते, तो फिर शायद आप वहां चले जाते. इसका मतलब ये आपका डिसीजन नहीं है, आप नहीं बनना चाहते हो, ऐसा है.
No, sir.
हाँ, तो ये
There's
signal आ
difference
रहा है.
between inspiration and motivation.
हाँ, तो ऐसे लिख दो कि आई हैव बीन इंस्पायर्ड बाय माय फैमिली मेंबर्स. तो
Okay, sir.
वर्ड यूज कर दो. नरेशन मत दो ना कि वो एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे थे. ये अभी देने की जरूरत नहीं है.
All right. Thank you,
या
sir.
उसको डाउन प्ले कर दो,
Okay,
है
sir.
ना. ठीक है. अदरवाइज यू आर डूइंग वेरी वेल.
So, Ishita, on this point, you can express your love for your mother when you give the interview for after selection.
Surely, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
It is an advice.
Okay, sir.
Don't take it in lighter vein. It should look to be your own resolve.
Got it.
Because you are going to stand up on your own feet. You're not influenced in your civil. You can't go back to mother and father or anyone for your decisions as a civil servant, can you?
Definitely not.
So your decision, the very first decision of getting into civil services, how can it be so much influence that you are bringing or giving credit to your parents? It should look to be your own resolve.
Okay, sir.
So it's a personality aspect. All right. And it shows that a little bit extra emotions,
Which might not be.
which is not required. As honorable members say, you are not telling a wrong thing. You are just not telling a thing.
Surely, sir, I'll take that.
So, Ishita, any questions?
Sir, regarding that SP related question, was my answer
SP, what? SP?
if I were to take responsibility of the issue?
Yes, but
if
you
some-
were very late in acknowledging it. बहुत
Sir, I
coding
should
के
have
बाद
been forthright.
Sir, I am the DM of the district. The incident has happened in my district. I would own the responsibility, even though I was not on the spot. Finished.
Okay, sir.
No conditions, no this thing. Alright?
Okay, sir.
This is
Thank
how
you so
it
much.
should be. So, any other question?
No, sir.
So, you are doing very well, Ishita, and just look into some of the suggestions, though
Surely, sir.
very trivial but important, to reflect your best, put the best foot forward.
Yes, sir.
Those 30 minutes, you should pick up the best in you. All right?
Yes,
All the
sir.
best.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
All the best.
Thank you so much.